Hi, it's the Carter Man up here at the trailer park, Riverbend Park, on on July 3rd, Monday. Tomorrow's July 4th, but we've been celebrating Independence Day up here at Riverbend Park for the last 3 days. Okay, this is a patriotic place. As I've always told you, about 1,500 homes. It's a community that loves this country. We had our fireworks the other night. Saturday night, a lot of fireworks, and there were a lot of Trump flags. I didn't see any Biden flags. Well, let me correct that. I did see a couple. They said impeach Biden and F Joe Biden, if you get the message. They're pretty blunt here about how they feel about Joe Biden, which is about the way 70% of the American people feel about Joe Biden, and rightly so. And the reasons I kind of lay out in a column about Independence Day, about the 4th of July, 2023, that I have coming out tomorrow at constitutionalrightspack.com. Constitutionalrightspack.com. The column is called "A Call for Caleb's." A Call for Caleb's. Now, those of you who are familiar with the Bible, the Old Testament, Numbers and Deuteronomy, the Caleb stories in both, the Joshua Caleb stories in both, know what I'm talking about. It's the story about Moses after the Israelites had been in the desert for a while, in the wilderness. They came near enough to Canaan for him to send some spies, reconnaissance team, let's call them, to check it out and see if it was, come back and tell them how they could enter the promised land. God's promised land to them, just like America is God's promised land to those of us who are faithful to the preachments, frankly, that we find in the Bible. It was founded as a Christian nation, whether Barack Obama denied it or not when he was president, which he did. And he sent 12, one from each of the tribes of Judah, into the promised land, into Canaan. And they came back, and 10 of them, as I say in this column, were filled with despair. Oh, they're giants there. They're giants there. We're like little grasshoppers, and if we try and go there, they're going to destroy us. Just totally supine. Two of them, Joshua and Caleb, came back and said, no, they're not. I don't care how big they are. We got God on our side, and it's our land. This has been promised to us. It's our promised land, and we need to go take it, and we will prevail. We will prevail. Well, unfortunately, those of you who know the story know that the 10 prevailed, and the Israelites spent almost another 40 years in the wilderness. Well, we're at that point in America today, aren't we? This is, for patriots, this is our promised land, and it is being destroyed by the likes of toxic Joe Biden and his lickspittles, his cabinet members. And I go into detail in the column. I go into detail. It's not that long. It's only about 1,000 words, but I lay it out for you. What these people are doing for us. They are attempting to destroy freedom. They're attempting to rob us of our principles, of our posture, and of our promise. Okay, that's what they're doing. I got that trilogy from a great sermon by Tim Hill, where he's talking about what Nebuchadnezzar did to Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. I sound like I'm a Southern Baptist preacher here, don't I? Like he is. I'm not. I'm just telling you. It's a great sermon. You might want to look it up. But that's what the Biden and his lickspittles are up to. And right now, there's no doubt they are succeeding. They are succeeding, flooding our borders, as I point out in the column, with millions of illegal alien invaders, filling our schools with pornography and perversion. That's what his Secretary of Education is doing. And absolutely destroying the rule of law. They are destroying the moral fiber, the social fabric, and the legal foundations of our country, all laid out in the column. And And it's up to us how we're going to respond, each of us. For each of us, it's a time of choosing. We can either despair or we can dare. We can either despair or we can dare. We can be like the 10 that came back, the cowardly 10, or we can be Caleb's, okay? I use Caleb instead of Joshua because everybody knows Joshua. Caleb kind of impressed me, though, because he wasn't necessarily a great leader, but he was a man of courage, wasn't he? He was a man of courage, like our 56 founding fathers who signed the Declaration of Independence, and like each of us needs to be today on this July 4th, 2023, when we have been issued, I think from above, a call for Caleb's to save our promised land, to save our promised land. So let's join together and in the name of God, let's do this thing.